So as Tammy and her teammates kindly reminded me before the evening started, this has been 10 years, Coach. And I said, I feel every one of them, believe me. And I want to first say congratulations to Tammy and her family. And what a special honor for her, for a special young lady, and also for her teammates. Because, you know, anytime you play in sports, it's certainly the team that gets it done. And Tammy, you were an instrumental part to a lot of great teams at Creighton. So congratulations to Tammy and her family. As I said, 10 years, that's quite a while ago. So most of you in this room didn't get the opportunity to see Tammy play. Those of you who did, you probably never forgot it, and you probably never forgot how she pitched. Whether it was her happy-go-lucky persona that she showed in the circle, whether it was her signature head bob motion, and those of you who saw her pitch know what I mean, this motion here, and Tammy did it as well as anybody. But others, you know, that saw her pitch would never forget how much of a competitor she was. And one thing I will always remember about Tammy is that fierce competitiveness that she showed. She was the type of player who could put the team on her back and take them further than they ever imagined. She was a game changer for us and a program changer for Creighton University. I always knew every single time that I handed Tammy the ball that we had a chance to win every game. And when you go into a game and you know you have 7 innings, and that's 21 outs, and you know Tammy's going to take care of 9 of them on her own, and by the way, she averaged over 9 strikeouts a game throughout her career, that's a comforting feeling to her teammates, and it's an amazing feeling for our coaching staff to know that you only have to get 12 more throughout the game. Tammy's honors, awards, are countless. We could go on and on about those, and they're highlighted in the program tonight. But there's a few that I wanted to make sure that I touch base on, and it's where Tammy ranks in her career at Creighton University. And she ranks so highly in these, and she did that over just a 3-year period. Tammy ranks in the top 3 in the following categories: career wins, shutouts, strikeouts, appearances, complete games, innings pitched, and starts, yet she did so in only 3 years at Creighton University. Tammy was also the first player in Creighton history to record 3 21 seasons. So in my book, that was 3 for 3. She remains the only player in Creighton and Valley history to record 2 300 strikeout seasons. She's the only 3-time Missouri Valley Conference Tournament MVP in Creighton and Missouri Valley history. And Tammy went on to pitch to a 10-0 record and pitched every out for us in 3 Missouri Valley Conference title runs from 2003 through 2005. One of the things I really enjoyed about Tammy was the bigger the stage, the brighter the lights, the better she was. And I think looking back at a specific time in the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament in 2005, I think you'll get an idea. In 2005, we made a title run, and the tournament was held in Wichita. We won our first game against Illinois State 2-0, and Tammy started that first game. Later in the day, we played Wichita State, who just so happened the weekend before take 2 out of 3 from us at home on senior weekend. So in game 2, on the same day against Wichita State, I elected not to start Tammy, since she'd already pitched a game earlier in the day, and the fact that Wichita had just beat us the weekend before. Needless to say, it did not go as planned. Their leadoff hitter singled to start the game, which was immediately followed by an RBI double. I took a timeout in an attempt to go calm our team down. On my way back into the dugout, now this is only 2 batters in, I said, Tammy, go get ready. I come back in the dugout, and a few seconds later, another base hit up the middle. I take my second time out of the inning, which means we're going to make a pitching change. I turned to Tammy and asked her, are you ready to go? And of course her answer was yes, with a very determined look in her eye. Tammy goes out and throws her 5 warm-up pitches. We are down 1-0 with runners at first and third. She strikes out the first hitter, gets the second hitter to pop up on a bunt. I believe they were trying to squeeze it home, and Tammy made the play herself. and coaxes the third hitter to get a ground out to end the inning. After 2 rain delays and nearly 3 hours later, we come from behind and beat the Shockers on their home field 2-1 and advance and eventually go on to win the 2005 MVC tournament title. Tammy threw all 8 innings and recorded every out in that game, but did not start. She finished the game with 9 strikeouts and threw a no-hitter in relief. Later that night, one of her teammates came up to me and said, "Coach, you realize Tammy never made it to the bullpen, don't you?" And blown away by her comment, I could not believe it. So Tammy's warm-up was actually the 5 pitches that she threw during the pitching change. This is a perfect example of how Tammy was able to control her opponents and was such a game changer for us. To me, this is the type of story that legends are made of, when you can go out and throw 5 pitches and go out and record 3 outs, and then we were able to come back and win the game. It is with great pleasure and my honor to introduce to you one of the most dominant pitchers in Creighton and Valley history, 2015 Hall of Fame inductee, Tammy Nielsen Winkler.
Wow, thank you for that, Coach. My husband was trying to calm me right before I came up here and spoke because I was a little nervous and wasn't quite prepared maybe to speak tonight as I should have been. But he reminded me, "Tammy, you're getting inducted for softball, not speech. Just go with it." So that's kind of what I'm going to try to do, set the expectations low, and I hope I can succeed. Okay. But standing here today, accepting this award into the Creighton Athletic Hall of Fame is something I could have never imagined for myself. I am completely humbled and grateful to be a part of such a wonderful tradition and to have played with and among such tremendous athletes and coaches and be a part of such a special university. Softball has provided me so many wonderful memories and helped me develop into the person I am today. Just to give you some history, when I was younger, I was probably a typical pitcher. Every 10 and under pitcher is. You throw hard, but you have no control. So I started from ground zero, and I wasn't always a starter. I got my first start in a state tournament, and in my first outing, in a warm-up pitch, I accidentally knocked my umpire, the umpire who was supposed to be behind the plate for me, out, and he got unconscious. And so we delayed our game, and needless to say, I probably scared those 10 and under batters off my plate and built up some confidence. Yeah, so that's how it all started, and we succeeded. We won that tournament, and that's how the love of the game kind of begun with me. I was fortunate enough to have been able to be coached by my dad for most of my softball career. My dad always worked the night shift, and I always remember him coming home almost every morning, especially in the summers and on the weekends, always asking me if I could want to pitch outside. You know, he rigged up a mound in our backyard, some backstop that I still overthrew, mind you, and always wanted me to practice. And with a bucket of balls by his side, he would give me some advice, throw me a new one, and tell me to try again. And once the bucket was emptied, I'd run and fill it up again. So enough practice, and, you know, amazing things can happen, I guess. But I'm extremely grateful to my parents, both of them, and especially my father, for taking the time and commitment into helping me develop as a softball player and really grow that passion of the game for me. He always managed to keep that game and practices fun for me, even in the good and bad times, so I appreciate that. my road to Creighton may have not been a direct route, but I am a firm believer that things happen for reasons that you can't always control. And so even though I did not attend Creighton my freshman year, I know in my heart the lessons I learned and the experiences I endured made me ready to compete at the Division I level. I feel the time I had at Augustana was well spent, and even though it was not the best fit for me, it is ultimately what led me to this wonderful opportunity to have the chance to play with Creighton and be a part of a wonderful program and university. Looking back, I have to say that I think my sophomore year was one of my most memorable and favorite years. This was the year I was first introduced to Creighton athletics, built trust, respect, and confidence with Coach Vignes, met and played with amazingly talented athletes and individuals both on and off the field, and really found that love of the game back into my life. After my freshman year, I wasn't quite positive if that was even possible, but it really is amazing when you surround yourself with positive people and intelligent and just people who have that drive for success, what you're able to accomplish. The group of women I played with, I can't say enough about the leadership and strength that they showed me. We built great friendships and had some excellent upperclassmen who really taught me how to work hard and believe I could succeed at this level of competition. One of my favorite memories, so sorry if I'm getting long-winded here, is my sophomore year's conference tournament. Our record was maybe 500. We weren't sure if we were going to make conference tournament that year. And I know we needed to win the series right before tournament. And I can remember to this day my father calling and saying, Tammy, your mother and I have already bought tickets to Evansville. So you guys have to go there because the only team we want to watch is Creighton. So luckily with those words, and our team's commitment, we were able to pull it off. And we were seeded as one of the lower seeds. But that never stopped our team from believing we deserved to be there and that we should win that tournament, which is exactly what ended up happening. I think that tournament, our team put everything we had as a team out on the field, and even though we were not the #1 seed, our coaches and upperclassmen made us believe that we were meant to be here and taught us this is how we should act. I remember being exhausted one of the games and coach coming into my circle asking if I can complete this game any further. And of course I said yes. But as he walked away, I looked at my teammates and I was like, oh, maybe I should have told him someone else should come in. I don't know. I don't want to mess this up for everybody, right? Then, right then and there, the upperclassmen, the seniors that we had on the field at the time, Jenny Hunt, Kara Van Winkle, and Sammy Herbster. They, right then and there, were like, Tammy, we don't want anyone else right here. We believe in you. We want you to do this. You can do this. And sure enough, just as like they have the whole entire season, the very next batter after that talk got a great hit, and Kara Van Winkle jumped out of her shoes to catch what could have been a double to score a run, and instead she caught the ball, and the very next inning, Melanie Dorsey was flying around third base and scored the winning run. So before you know it, we're in championship game when we were the underdogs and should have never been there. So those memories stick true to me and like just remind me how grateful I am and where our program was and how far we become. I do believe that a pitcher is only as strong as the catcher she is pitching to, and they help make all your pitches look great and provide pitchers a sense of calmness and strength on the field that you need. And for that, I'd like to especially thank Carrie Schenk, who was my catcher, primary catcher back then, and for all that she taught me on the mound and for always supporting me, and most importantly for the trust that we built with each other over the years. I can remember many meetings on the mound where the ending comment was trust, but I can also remember her helping calm me down and even singing to me to lighten the mood after Coach yelled at us. So lastly, I would like to thank Coach Vignes for allowing me to be a part of his wonderful softball program that he has built here at Creighton. As I stated, sophomore year was truly eye-opening to me, and I can personally say I think in my collegiate career, I was responsible for one of our longest drop your glove and run sessions for our infield. And at the time, I didn't really understand his expectations, and I thought I was doing things the way he had wanted us to compete. But after that, my teammates were sure to inform me how we need to handle ourselves on that field. So I thank them for that, and after that, we never ran as much as we did that day. So I still apologize to my current teammates for that. The memories are endless, and the experience I had at Creighton will always be one I cherish. I am forever grateful for each and every opportunity that was presented to me while at Creighton, as I know being part of this program allowed me so many opportunities, not only to allow me into the professional league and to play in Europe after I graduated, but to give back into this community. And really, I told this to Coach the other day when he called me, I feel like Creighton really gave me more than I ever was able to give it. So it is truly an honor to say I'm a graduate of Creighton and to have played with the softball program for this extremely humbling honor, and to all have been a part of my journey. I will forever be proud to say I'm a Blue Jay. Once a Jay, always a Jay.